In honor of fall, I'm making Pluot jam today because Pluots are the ultimate Frankenstein fruit. They're a mixture of a plum and an apricot, which is so great because they're a little less sour than your standard plum, but they have so much more flavor than your standard apricot. I begin by pitting my Pluots. I've found it's best to just cut them in half, and then you can pull out the pit. Sometimes the pit will be just a little bit more stubborn, and in that case, I cut it in half again, so quartered essentially there, and then I'm able to cut out that pit. The next step is to quarter my Pluots. If I have a really big one like this one, sometimes I'll do an additional slice. It just depends on how big they are and how big you want the chunks to be in your jam. And then I'll go through and I'll just slice them into small slices. And I'll continue to cut my Pluots until I have 5 cups worth. Now I'll place in my 5 cups of Pluots, 1/4 of a cup of water, 6 tablespoons of pectin, and a 1/2 teaspoon of butter. The butter just reduces the foaming. Then I'll place this on the stove and bring it to a boil. Now that it's begun to boil, I'll add 5 cups of sugar. And then I'll mix that in well and bring it back to a boil. Now that it's come to a boil, I'll set my timer for 1 minute. Now I'll fill my 1/2 pint jars up to 1/4 of an inch of headspace, which is the space from the top of the food to the top of the jar. Now I'll use a clean damp cloth to wipe off the rim of my jars so that if any jam got on the edge, that it won't interfere with the seal. Then I'll place my lids and rings on until they're fingertip tight. These superb lids are actually my favorites because they have 5 coatings of corrosion-resistant coating on them, and they also have a really squishy blue seal, which will seal for up to 36 months as opposed to 18 like the other lids do. I have a link as well as a 20% off coupon code in my description below. I'll place these in my boiling water bath, submerged by 1 to 2 inches of water, and process them for 10 minutes if I'm at sea level. I'm at 1,200 feet, so I'll process them for 15, but I won't start my timer until after it begins to boil. Now that my timer's gone off, I'll turn off the heat, remove the lid, and let it cool for 5 minutes. I remove my jars and place them on a heat-resistant surface about 1 to 2 inches apart so that they can cool down quickly. Then I'll leave them there for 24 hours so that they can get a good seal. I can tell that they have a good seal if the center of the lid is depressed down. If it is, then I place them in my pantry where it is cool, dry, and dark, just perfect for canned goods, and I'll use them in the next 1 to 3 years. If any of them didn't seal, I would place them in the refrigerator and use them right away. So now for the taste tester, to start off with, it's a beautiful color, has all these great chunks in it, and it's really good. It's of course sweet, but it's also kind of reminiscent of almost like a nectarine jam because it's got that taste of the apricot. Well, it's got the taste of the Pluot, really. So definitely a fun one to play with.